Hello,
Hey,
what's going on?
Queens forever.
A little something, a reminder of home.
Right.
Okay. So, what is your name? What do you do? I think we'll ask each other what we do and then we'll kind of like converse
Right? Is
and
that
kind
what
of
you
see.
guys want to know?
Or not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about you go first? Who are you?
My name is Andrew Raphael. Nice to meet you guys. I am a bespoke tailor, artist, and creative. Now based here in Des Moines, Iowa, but born and raised in Queens, New York, with family roots from Dominican Republic. How about you?
Nice.
Thank you.
My name is Katie Stick. I am a financial coach and bookkeeper, and I help you target the limiting beliefs that are controlling your life and help you transcend them, make more money, and become happier.
Look at that. That's what I'm talking about.
That sounds good, right?
Everybody wants to make more money.
Yeah, right?
Especially now with the year, like everything, how things I think are, what the future lies for us in a
I
way.
mean, you were talking like it's only been 3 weeks, but it's felt like 3 months, you said.
I mean, like me myself, I kicked off this year like just running because I felt like this was the year where my prime is gonna. Uh, I want to not only like create, but I also want to showcase the most that I can this year based on
Right?
where I'm at in my career.
Yeah, that's what matters to me. It's like, it's not about work. It's not about just like making money. It's like my work is an extension of myself. And I want to become a better version of myself. And so my fire that drives me to grow my business, like, of course I want to make more money. Of course I want the dreams on my vision board to come true. But like, it's mostly about setting myself free and just like being my best version of myself.
Is that what you bring to your clients?
I help them understand that a money challenge might be a personal challenge that you have. And that's what's cool about the work that I do is like people talk about holistic wealth in the sense that like you can have a lot of money, but you're sick or you're not happy or you don't feel free. Like your money is dependent on you keep staying in a position that you don't fully want to be in. And what's cool about the work that I do is not only does it translate to you making more money, it translates to being in better health because you're living in more alignment. You're resting appropriately, you're working appropriately, you know? And I help people kind of elevate in all those dimensions of their life. And usually it's kind of like this picture of like a dam where if you pull out one stick, the whole thing falls apart. But if you're pulling from the top and trying to take it apart, it takes much longer. So I help people target like the root of what might be holding them back in all areas of their life.
Okay. So, like, can you give me an example of one of your recent clients, maybe? Somebody that you work. You don't
Yeah.
have to mention the name, but just somebody that you're working with that maybe you help them transition. Like, what was it about the process of working with you as opposed to working with somebody else, and how were they able to get from point A to point Z?
Yeah. So I had a client who most people who come to work with me are usually pretty ready to transcend whatever problem that they've been facing. They've been navigating this problem like for the person I'm thinking of, it's like they're in a position with debt and they want to pay off the debt and they're ready and they've acknowledged maybe what happened to get them into that place of debt and they no longer have like shame or guilt about it. They're just ready to make a positive change, and so they're ready to work with me. And as we started to look under the covers of like, well, how did you get here, like really, how did you get here, like the root of it, and we uncover that it's a dynamic in the person's relationship with money that also was something that happened to them in early childhood, something that happened like with the way that their parents showed up in their life. And I was able to help this person feel the emotions of the hurt that happened in childhood. And because I was able to be a safe place for her, as trauma kind of arose because of something that happened with her money, I was able to help her understand that it wasn't about money. Like it's the work that we needed to do wasn't about money in that point. It was about navigating the emotions. And then once the emotions were done, I can help her take like the right action with her money, like preventing a costly mistake, basically.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think like there's not a lot of like I'm a certified financial planner. Like I know a lot about money, but also know a lot about just like what people need to like heal, and that just comes from my own personal journey. I've done a lot of personal healing. I've gone through a lot of personal challenges, and so I only like I promise everyone I work with like I can only take you as far as I've taken myself, and I've really gone to the depths of my psyche in many ways. So I feel like I'm comfortable helping people through that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many years have you been doing what you do?
I've been working in finance for about 9 years.
Okay.
So I've worked in like the corporate setting, more on like large scale finance. That was really cool and fun. But while the impact there was like vast, it was very topical. And that's what drove me to work on the personal level is I wanted to make like powerful changes in people's lives. And I think that working with just me with another individual or a family, like that is really powerful as opposed to I was working with like company to company finance.
Okay.
So I've been doing personal finance for about 6 years.
Do you prefer personal over business?
Well, what's cool about this modern age is personal usually is business. I see this trend of more and more people becoming entrepreneurs, and I think that is so smart because we're moving into a whole new digital economy where there's so much potential for individual creators to make a lot of money, way more money than they could if they stayed in like a traditional 9 to 5 job. And so I think there's totally an opportunity to blend both skill sets of personal and business finance, which is why I offer bookkeeping, because there's an element to this process about clarification. And really just knowing where your money is going is extremely empowering. Just like knowing what your emotions are doing when a trigger comes up is super empowering.
Yeah.
So that's like the connection between like this like emotional piece and money piece, personal and business, because usually they're all connected. I think you know this, you're a business owner. Like, what do you
Yeah.
have to
I
say?
think it's, the like depending on, I mean, I think all businesses, you're the face of the business.
Yeah,
So it's like when you step out, people tie these two things together. So at the same time, you yourself should also be representing your business in every like I think in the highest value every single time you step out of your door because people not only tend to trust you more for that, but then that's how you build more business, get more referrals, etc. Um,
yeah,
so I do love the fact that you do like you teach people personal and business because I feel like a lot of people try to separate those things, not understanding that they really do correlate together.
totally. And even if you are just a person who works for a company, like there's still strategies to be played at work too. You know, how do you get a promotion? How do you expand your influence if that is what you want for your career? You
Because
know,
even though your finances may be coming from working for somebody else, those finances are personal to your life that tie
right,
to your work, that essentially tie to your life. So I think
right,
I love the fact that it's more whole.
right.
So it's like you're not only just focused on money, it's focused on personal, focus on life, focus on like what are your goals, where are you trying to go? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like an important conversation about like trust and integrity, and like the other piece to this too is like relationships are such a key part of wealth for people. I mean, we hear this all the time, like you get referrals or you got your first job because you knew that person at that company. You know, so much of life is based on relationships, and relationships are based on trust. And how do you build trust? Integrity. And I think that was the piece that you were speaking to, is just like knowing that when you show up, remember that it's not just about how you're feeling in the moment. It's like trying to be the most authentic and highest version that you can be in every moment and pushing that every day.
And to be of service to people because
Of
I feel like
course.
when you're in a client-based business, like the service that you provide has to be unique in its own aspect too.
Yeah.
But that's the personal rapport, and I think when on a client, like I work with client to client as well as you do
Mm,
too. So on a client to client building basis, the rapport is very important because that's how you build a relationship. That you were talking about that earlier. I think honestly, like most of my like experiences have been through my relationships that's helped me grow. it helped put me into rooms in order to learn this craft better. It helped me meet masters of this tailoring industry in order for me to be better at what I do. Um, and got me the opportunity to do what I do, to be transparent. I think you mentioned that earlier too.
Right. And I've seen you in the way that you work, and it's clear to me that it's so much more than just making a suit for somebody,
Correct.
So tell me more about like what how you actually impact the lives of your clients.
I think when people come to me, they're at a certain point in their life that they're looking for something that's quality based. They want to either rebrand themselves or re-wardrobe themselves, because a lot of people fall into this workflow where they just think they need one or two things and meeting the bare minimum. But when you start getting yourself into rooms where you talk about finance and building your business and representing yourself in the right way, coming with just a regular suit or something that's very basic is only going to disattract people your way. And if you're trying to attract more people your way, the way you dress and the way you present yourself is very key. And I help my clients get to that point when they're entering those rooms or entering those times in their life where it could also just be a wedding. That's a life changing moment for everybody. Biggest day of your life if you really put it together.
Yeah.
So I'm helping you build yourself, your wardrobe. I'm helping you build your personality, build who you want to showcase in life, and then on top of that, be there for your biggest moments. Like that's what I do as a bespoke tailor on a client to client basis.
Yeah, I feel like what you're saying is like you help people make sure their inner world is reflected externally, and you work with a lot of people who've worked so hard to build a career for themselves, or devoted to a relationship they've cultivated, and you kind of are using making a suit to celebrate them and uplift them.
I'm creating art around them in a way based on
Yeah,
where they are in their life and where they're headed.
that's awesome.
And it's not just for men, also for women as well.
Mm,
So I don't want to say it's just menswear, even though that's like the bulk of what people understand when it comes to like suiting. Like I do women's garments as well. So there are a lot of women that are in these positions as well where they're transitioning and they sometimes can't find these things that are made for them because women have very unique body types.
right.
Another part of the craft that we do is basically getting gentlemen who can't have the ability to go into a store and just buy something off the rack or buy something that's already regularly made and kind of like put it on them because it just won't fit right.
Right.
And even if you tailor it correctly or you add all these aspects to it, something made for you and something you're just buying are two completely different things. No matter how high quality the price is here or how high quality the price is here. What you
Right.
pay for when you work with me, it's craftsmanship, it's fit, it's styling, it's taking your confidence from point A to point Z, uh, boosting yourself. Of course, I get a phone call right now. Watch me work. Bespoke Cousin Clothing, how can I help you?